African American, Mexican, they always made for the biggest fights in history.
Terence Crawford should fight David Benavidez if they both lobbying so hard to fight Canelo Alvarez.
A lot of these good fighters fight each other, and a lot of these great fighters, they fight each other. It's too many champions.
Floyd Mayweather, even years into retirement, still keeps himself involved with boxing, sometimes with exhibition matches and sometimes with his explosive statements.
I'm behind the scenes. So sometimes a fighter can retweet something, just to get the people out of their seats or get the people going. And Terence Crawford, hell of a fighter.
He's just made his most audacious move that could redefine a legacy. He's been vocal and direct, revealing exactly why the pound-for-pound king, Terence Crawford, should take on the one fight everyone thinks is impossible.
So I'm gonna ask you, if I say these fighter names to you, what is the first word that comes to mind?
Okay.
So the first one is Floyd Mayweather Jr.
Great fighter.
David Benavidez.
Good fighter.
The last one is Terence Crawford.
Good fighter.
The newly crowned pound-for-pound undefeated 5-division world champion, 3-division undisputed world champion, superstar boxer, who is a first ballot Hall of Famer once he retires, Terence Bud Crawford. Floyd Mayweather said in an interview with Fight Hype, Floyd Mayweather made a statement that Terence Bud Crawford should face off against the Mexican-Ecuadorian monster, David Benavidez, the 2-time WBC super middleweight and reigning WBC light heavyweight.
It all started in a candid interview where Mayweather was asked about Crawford's next move. Coming from Mayweather, a man who not only retired undefeated but also masterminded the biggest fights in history, this wasn't just talk. He started by respectfully acknowledging...
Wait. I think when he was like, I'm really super skillful fighter, very talented fighter.
Showing admiration before he laid down the challenge. With Canelo Alvarez dealt with for Crawford, Mayweather cut right through the noise with a stunningly simple yet brutal solution. He pointed at David Benavidez, the feared Mexican monster, and said if both men wanted to fight Canelo, they should forget him and face each other instead. His words were direct and unfiltered.
And I talked about that, a while back. And I thought about this, if he wanted to go to 168 and he want to fight Canelo bad and Benavidez want to fight Canelo bad, if they can't get Canelo, they can fight each other. Benavidez and Crawford.
Whoa, wait a minute. Wow, for real?
I'm saying that both of you guys are chasing one fighter. If y'all feel like y'all chasing him and y'all can't get that fighter, then y'all should say, fuck it, we'll fight each other. I don't know. I just threw that out there because you told me about Benavidez trying to fight Canelo, and I know that, Terence Bud Crawford has been trying to fight Canelo. They both been trying to get that fight done. And it seems like both have been trying to get it done extremely bad. Now, if you can't get it done, then make you guys fight. Say fuck it.
And just like that, an idea that most fans had never even considered was suddenly on the table.
Stop chasing Canelo, bruh. You feel me? The man don't look like he want to fight you. You feel me?
Right.
And this kid there, the business of the game, bruh. Sometimes it's just...
Let me
just ain't
ask
right,
you,
bruh.
But this isn't just another fight. It's a clash of different divisions.
And David Benavidez, those are some fighters that...
I'm just not really praising fighters. It's just giving guys their props. Saying, yo, this guy can fight.
To understand the sheer madness of Mayweather's suggestion, you have to look at the scales. Terence Crawford is a master craftsman who started his career at 135 pounds. He recently conquered the 168-pound division by outclassing Canelo.
You gotta have 4 arms.
I know.
And 6 eyes to beat Floyd.
Is Floyd better than you? Keyshawn beat Tank?
Keyshawn beat everybody. Him and Shakur.
How you feel about them not fighting each other? That's cool?
Yeah, that's cool. They don't need to fight each other.
Was there anybody ever...
They can beat up everybody else.
Was there anybody ever like that in boxing with you? Because not really Sean Porter, right?
Nope.
No friends in this business for you.
I think Tim Bradley would have been like that.
Okay.
I think Tim Bradley would have been like that. I wouldn't have fought Tim.
If the opportunity presented itself against Floyd, you would have, though, even though you admire him so much and he's so great. But you
Floyd, yeah, because I wasn't as close. Me and Floyd close now, but when Floyd was boxing, I wasn't as close with Floyd like I am now.
How do you beat Floyd, though? Like, since nobody's been able to crack that code.
You think I would tell you?
He ain't fighting anymore. So that fight ain't gonna happen.
You gotta have 4 arms.
I know.
And 6 eyes to beat Floyd.
Is Floyd better than you?
I think you got your answer there.
Nah, I didn't hear nothing. Is Floyd better than you? Some fighters say, even like Gervonta Davis.
I beat your...
Okay, that's a no. That's a no.
David Benavidez, however, is a natural-born super middleweight. He's a monstrous puncher who walks around well over 180 pounds and struggles to even make the 168-pound limit. Some believe his future is at light heavyweight, 175 pounds. This isn't just a weight difference, there is a huge size difference too, with both of them standing at different feats. It's a weight class abyss. It's a battle between a tactical genius and a giant, raising the ultimate question in boxing. Can sublime skill truly overcome brute force and size?
Turkey, he did a great job.
He was involved in Riyadh season, and they own Ring Magazine now. So the reason why that's significant is the Ring Magazine belt is one of the only belts that kind of been, there's a bunch of different organizations that are sanctioning bodies. There's the WBO, the WBC, the IBF. There's all these different, it's very fractured, right? But Ring Magazine has always been like Roy Jones Jr. was the Ring Magazine middleweight champion of the world, the Ring Magazine super middleweight champion of the world. Like, that's the gold standard, is Ring Magazine.
So there would be one belt.
They can do that and then overpower everything else with money and then really put the compelling fight.
The risk for Crawford would be immense, and Crawford acknowledges the same too.
Would you ever entertain a fight with the Mexican monster, David Benavidez? But you want Canelo. But you want Canelo.
You gotta understand, like.
But I gotta ask you, bro, because I can't, you know.
My thing is, Benavidez is a big dude. You know what I mean? Not to say I won't fight him. I fought his brother. You know what I mean? His brother was big when I fought him. But, you know what I mean? Benavidez is a big dude. Benavidez is like 6 foot something. You know what I mean? Then he gonna come in 190, 200 probably. You know what I mean? Like, you never know. Like, that's a big dude. Like, you know what I mean?
And he's skilled, man.
You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, I might as well go to heavyweight if I fight Benavidez.
Yeah.
A comment from a retired legend is one thing, but in modern boxing, fights aren't made in the gym. They're made by men with billion-dollar checkbooks. And just as the boxing world was debating Mayweather's idea as a wild fantasy, the game completely changed.
This is the gloves of the champ. He gave it to me, and this is important gift from him. It's mean a lot to me. We do it. I like the logo. Yeah. Very, very beautiful logo. The champ, the champ has a lot of surprise for his city and for the future. He wants to rest now for 1 or 2 months. Then we will tell you the surprise.
If it was you against Crawford?
To be honest with you, if I fought Terrence Crawford, I would definitely use my size, my reach, my weight to my advantage. Crawford is a very smart fighter, but I guess thankfully I'm not fighting.
The most powerful man in the sport, Saudi Arabia's Turki Al-Sheikh, entered the conversation. Whispers on social media and in boxing forums, fueled by one of his cryptic tweets, suggested that the new kingmaker of boxing was more than just interested. He was reportedly eyeing the matchup. Suddenly, this impossible fight had the backing of a man who can make any fantasy a reality with a single phone call. The proposal was no longer just talk. The moment this idea felt real, the boxing world didn't just discuss it, it erupted.
But if you were at 168, when we think about anybody at 168 outside of Canelo, the first name that comes to anybody's mind is David Benavidez. What about the potential for a fight like that?
Oh, like I said, man, that's a big dude. You know what I mean? He ain't even at 168. You know, when you look
right, not now, at 175, yeah.
He probably can't even make 168 no more. But when you look at these fights, you know, especially coming up, you gotta be realistic. You gotta, you know, say, all right, you know, how big is this dude really is? Because David Benavidez, he can fight his ass off. you know. But me personally, I believe in my skills and my ability that I could beat anybody.
This is what he talking about, because he like, man, he's not a big dude. He just kept saying he's not a big dude and you can beat him. And then when I looked into it, I'm like, damn, Bill, right. You know what I mean? So then it was just like, okay, cool.
The community was violently split down the middle. On one side, you had experts like Kofi Gentua screaming, "That's not fair," arguing that asking a smaller man like Crawford to face a monster like Benavidez was a bridge too far, a reckless disregard for fighter safety.
Benavidez is too big, too strong. We don't want to see a champion do so much and accomplish so much and then end his career with a bad choice, a bad fight that he shouldn't take. I wouldn't do it.
But on the other side, the reaction was just as intense. Figures like Lonnie B were blunt, predicting absolute carnage with statements like, "David Benavidez will beat the ST out of Terrence Crawford." For them, size and power were truths that skill couldn't erase. The debate raged online, in barbershops, and in gyms everywhere. Was this a legendary challenge or a guaranteed execution?
But just wanted to get your thoughts on when Canelo made that comment. Just what's your thoughts?
I don't have a problem with it. I mean, he's speaking how he feels. He knows what he's doing. He's been in huge fights. He's made an enormous amount of money, several hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. He's had a fantastic career thus far. He's fought everybody that he possibly could. And David Benavidez is just another challenge out there potentially for him. I'm excited to, as a fan, I would love to see the fight. But at the end of the day, Canelo's calling the shots.
Amidst the storm of opinions, the focus inevitably shifted to the two men at the center of it all. What did they think? David Benavidez, who has been desperately chasing a legacy-defining fight for years, didn't hesitate. He made it clear he would welcome any challenge, confident that his power would be more than enough to win no matter what. But the view from Crawford's camp was reportedly much different. In fact, reports surfaced that Crawford's own trainer immediately shot down the idea, flatly stating that the dangerous size difference made it an unnecessary and reckless risk.
Turkey hinted at that. He was like, Benavidez.
Yeah, he
Turkey,
did.
So.
Turkey just posted that this morning, wondering if Benavidez can make 168. Maybe he has plans or ideas of maybe trying to match up Benavidez and Terrence Crawford.
No,
there.
man. No, ain't doing that fight.
Maybe planning on vacating the belts.
No, we ain't gonna vacate the belts. You know, we just gonna sit where we need to sit for a minute, and then, just like I said, get back in the gym and do our thing.
Crawford is the king. He has other more conventional paths, like facing contenders such as Tim Tszyu or Keith Thurman, standard high-level fights that carry far less risk.
I can easily go fight Virgil Ortiz or Fundor or whoever to, you know what I mean, make a quick buck or make a quick little penny, but I'm looking at the bigger picture. You know, this is a legacy fight. This is a generational fight, you know, that will be talked about for years.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, if Terrence doesn't want to do that, or there's guys like, you know, I know Tim Tszyu and Keith Thurman are fighting here soon, and I guess he could possibly fight the winner of that. Or do you think, you know, I know there's still that guy, Jaron Boots Ennis, floating around. It's that younger name floating around at welterweight. I know, you know.
I think that'd be a hell of a fight. Boots Ennis, just like we always say, somebody got to give you a chance. Somebody got to give you an opportunity and a chance. So somebody got to give Boots the opportunity and a chance, whether it's Terrence or somebody else. It seems like, you know, it's been difficult for Crawford to get that Spence fight done. It's been difficult for him to get the Canelo fight done. So his other option is probably Boots Ennis.
On the other hand, it's not just Benavidez. Lurking in his own division is another undefeated monster, Jaron Boots Ennis, a fight many see as similarly high risk.
Man, great. Bud always been like that. Without a question, solid. You know what I'm saying?
You think there's anything left for him, Coach, or is it time for Bud to move on? Or
I'm trying to figure out who he gonna fight next.
160, you can see him fight 160.
I wouldn't do nothing crazy. He looked at excellent. Hey, Islam. He looked at excellent. Is there
What's
anybody?
the most from
No, I'm trying to figure out what their team gonna do next. I want to see what's
He's
next.
talking about 160, coach. I mean, the only thing down there is maybe like a middleweight tournament, 2 fights undisputed, something like that. But if not that, then what for Bud?
Who?
Well, they were talking about Jaron Ennis going to 160, possibly going. Jaron Ennis going to 160.
If he go to 160, then we got another mega fight.
You think that's a mega fight?
I don't know that yet, but I'm saying in the boxing fans that know boxing would say that's another mega fight.
This new landscape fuels the argument from pundits like Greg Hackett, who insists that Bud doesn't need Benavidez. From their perspective, Crawford has already reached the pinnacle. Why would the king willingly walk into the lion's den when he has safer, more logical options? But for Crawford, this high-stakes game of risk and politics is nothing new. It's the very war he fought just to get to this point. For years, he was trapped in a bitter and increasingly public feud with his legendary promoter, Bob Arum. Crawford felt Top Rank was failing to deliver the mega fights he needed to build his legacy, most notably the elusive showdown with Errol Spence Jr. The split was ugly, with accusations flying that Arum couldn't make the big fights happen and that Crawford wasn't a big enough draw. Crawford had to fight for his own freedom, betting on himself to seize control of his destiny. This history adds a thick layer of irony to his current dilemma. He broke away to chase greatness on his own terms, and now that he's finally the king of the mountain, he's being dared to jump into a volcano. But to truly understand why this conversation is even happening, you have to look at the man who isn't in the fight, Canelo Alvarez. For years, Canelo was the face of boxing. But that all changed in September 2025. When Terence Crawford masterfully dismantled Canelo, in Crawford's own words, he didn't just take his belts, he took his title.
I didn't see this after. Is it true that you walked up to him and you gave him the belts back?
Yeah, for sure.
Did that happen?
Yeah.
Why did you do that? Why'd you do that?
They his belts. You know, I want to be the one to, you know, give them back to him.
But you mean actually they're your belts? You took it, you won.
They're my belts, but you know, my belts is gonna come personalized. Like his belts is personalized. You know, them his. I took his titles. You know, the belts is, you know, going home with him. You know, the titles is coming home with me. I'm gonna get my new belts. You know, and those belts is going home with him. And I just felt like it was only right that, you know, I be the one to present them back to him.
Belts don't matter. I promise you, when you in his situation,
right?
The belts don't matter. That was like Floyd Mayweather. Who gonna tell Floyd Mayweather a belt matter? They make belts for you at that point,
right?
You know, the belts don't matter. Once you get to a certain peak in your career, you outgrow the belts because you got to pay for the belts anyway. Absolutely. Like I'm gonna give you these belts. They gonna come and watch me regardless. You know, so now it comes to a point where we negotiate the percentage of the belts because we gotta pay for the belts. How can I be champion of the world and I gotta pay you to be champion?
The defeat was so shocking that respected voices in the sport, like trainer Ronnie Shields, were openly suggesting that the Mexican legend should simply retire. Yet, in a stunning twist that shows just how much power he still wields, it was confirmed Canelo still holds a lucrative 2-fight deal remaining with Riyadh season. This creates a bizarre dynamic. A fallen king who is being written off by some, yet remains one of the biggest financial forces in the sport.
It was up to me, like we keep on saying, we want to see Benavidez. Canelo, hell of a fighter, but my personal opinion, he's ducking Benavidez. You know, that's just my personal opinion, and I'm allowed to speak my mind. That's just what it is. We want to see Benavidez. Let's make it happen.
You just size them up. Yeah. You just size them up, especially when you going into a bigger weight class like that. You know what I mean, you size them up and you see, you know, your advantages and his advantages. A lot of people might say, oh, well, we want to see Benavidez, Canelo, but to be real,
you don't want to see that?
Yeah, as a boxing fan, it would be a fight to see.
Crawford's victory created a power vacuum, and fighters like Benavidez, who had spent years chasing a ghost in Canelo, now had a new target.
But you're right, Canelo's in a position now to where he gets to pick and choose. Floyd did it, Chavez did it, De La Hoya did it.
All the greats did it.
All the greats did it. And I think ties back into the 4 belts. When you're paying to fight for the belt, it's like, yeah.
But Mayweather's proposal wasn't the only bomb he dropped in that interview. He also revealed the fundamental question that every top-tier fighter must answer for themselves. When pressed on the risk versus reward for Crawford, Floyd didn't talk about weight or skill. He talked about motive. He said fighters need to ask themselves if it's about the legacy, the money, or both.
You gotta ask yourself, is it about the legacy? Is it about the money? Is it about both? You know, I'm not in these fighters' heads, so I don't know. But if you want to fight, fight them. If you do want to fight them. If you don't, then don't fight them. Fight somebody else.
Makes sense.
These fighters should do what makes you happy.
This wasn't just a throwaway line. It was a direct look into the mind of a master businessman. He even gave a masterclass on the subject, revealing that for his own fight with Canelo, he let Canelo's team choose the catch weight.
Kind of surprised. I was like, yo, like that's a risky fight. At least I thought at the time it was a risky, even though you made it look like easy.
And for the record, a lot of people said, it was at a catch weight. I mean, I didn't choose the catch weight. Canelo did. I didn't ask for a catch weight.
Yeah, I remember that.
I just know. I remember somebody from the Canelo team had done an interview and said, "Yo, we'll fight Floyd at the catch weight." So my team jumped on and said, "Well, tell me what catch weight you guys want to fight at." They chose the catch weight. We said, "Let's do it." It didn't matter to me if we wanted to fight at 54. I would have fought anyway. But I think when we fought at 53 or 52, I don't know.
By letting his opponent pick their supposed advantage, he dismantled any chances for their excuses before they even stepped into the ring. This adds another layer to his challenge. Is he just suggesting a fight, or is he pushing Crawford to think like a true A-side, to cut through a sport he feels is diluted with too many belts and too many champions, and get back to the old school truth, the 2 best fighters stepping into the ring to prove it?
We have to go back to the old school. And I say the old school meaning, in which we are getting back to that, you know. And for a while I thought that it wasn't like that, but a lot of these good fighters fight each other, and a lot of these great fighters, they fight each other. But what we're going to do is we got to cut down with all these belts. It's too many champions. They get back to the old school. It's too many champions.
So now, Terence Crawford stands at a crossroads. He has conquered every division he's stepped into, culminating in his crowning achievement against Canelo. He has nothing left to prove. Yet this one, unthinkable challenge hangs in the air, pushed by a legendary promoter and backed by unimaginable money. Does he take the safe path and continue his reign, or does he risk it all for a fight that would elevate him into the pantheon of the absolute greatest to ever do it? The final question is one that defines modern boxing itself. Is this a true test of greatness, or is it a dangerous spectacle fueled by money and hype? And in a world where 9-figure paydays are possible, does the risk even matter anymore? So, that's all from today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss our upcoming videos. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comment section. Stay tuned, and we will catch you in the next video.